I am calling it now. In the next 12 months, assisted living facilities will be the hottest topic on real estate investing.
I think the cash flow numbers getting out there.
Obviously, the cash flow.
Our friends and relatives, they work as nurses and they want an exit plan.
Assisted living comes in any form, but basically it is any type of medical home care that is done either on a small residential scale or even on a larger commercial scale. But one thing is for certain, the US population is getting older, the need for healthcare is increasing, and people are living longer and longer and longer. So the demand for this type of help is only going to increase. And yes, those who are in healthcare now will definitely over-index into leaning into this type of investing, but there are definitely ways that people who don't have medical backgrounds like myself could get into the industry. These types of businesses not only provide much needed help for the community, but also are a great way to provide income for yourself or for your business.
My prediction is that in 2023 and 2024, that'll be like the hottest thing to talk about in healthcare, especially in investing. Do you think that's true or false?
I think that's true. I think we're living in a time where the aging population is increasing exponentially. I think a lot of families are getting away from their parents just staying at home, but also a lot of our parents want to be independent. They want to travel and they want to have their own thing. And so I think that kind of gels with the fact that residential care facilities are going to be much needed in the next few years.
Agreed.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
Thank you, spokesperson.
Okay, so I told you, Eileen is one of my clients. We've done a lot of different clips of here's how much money it makes, here's how much it costs to run it. Obviously, there's great margin, which is also why you're in the space as well. But what do you think is the most important thing for someone to think about as they're getting into the space?
I think the biggest thing to think about is just look at your own parents, look at your own families. Where do you see them living and having that fuel your passion first? There's so many opportunities to make money. There's so many ways to make a good buck. I'm always looking at how we can give back to what's needed, something that you have passion about, something that kind of hits close to home, and then make a living from that. And so I think that that's something that fuels you, because you can have a job or you can get into a business, you don't like it, you're not passionate, it doesn't hit home, you're not going to want to put in the time and effort. And as you guys know, putting in the time and effort is what's going to be the big return, not just the business coming in. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And don't be afraid to fail, because in the very beginning, you're not going to know what you're doing. You're going to feel like you're all alone on an island, but do your research. Go to networking events like this and learn from others. I think that's going to be very important if you're trying to get into an industry like this.
Yeah. Education, I would say, is key, because I think when I began partnering with Alvin, it was where do I start to learn? And if I have to start from the bottommost position and learn my way up, then I'll really understand the business and be able to be passionate about what I'm doing and understand what everybody else in the business is doing.
Okay, last question. Because the numbers are so juicy, and unfortunately every state has different requirements of how you can get into an assisted living facility, but many times, say in California, it's 60 or 80 hours of training. If someone is looking at all these podcasts and videos and saying, man, I can get $8,000 a patient, and I can get 4 patients and only rent the place for $5,000 a month, and there's a lot of margin, like you're an MD, right, and you're a physician, but if I don't have any healthcare experience, what do you think is the responsible way for someone to get into the business?
I think I echo what Janice is saying, educate yourself. I think that that's the most important thing. There's so many resources out there, and I think being an independent, self-driven learner is always key. To become a doctor, I took 13 plus years of training. I'm still training. I'm still learning. I'm still looking at resources. And it doesn't have to come from textbooks or the top universities. There are a lot of places that offer education. Just look to your friends and ask them. Go to networking events. Go to Josh's channel. There's a lot of opportunities to learn. So I think that that's a key. We're lifelong learners. And I think educating yourself is the best way to start.
And it's a highly regulated industry. You can't stop. You have to actually go out there. You're going to receive more information weekly, monthly, all the time from all of the different resources that are available.
Every 2 years, you have to renew your RCFE certificate. So those 40 hours, you're continually educating yourself.
You have no choice.
You have no choice.
Yeah.
And then last question, what are your names and how can people find you?
Yes, my name is Patrick Benarau. You can find me on Instagram. My handle is PAAAATRICCCK. You made that hard for me.
Mine's simple, Alvin Teodoro. You can find me on Instagram, Dr. Alvin, DOCTORALVIN. It's also my LinkedIn handle. DM me if you have any questions.
Janice Ruiz, and you can find me on Instagram at Janice Rose. Really simple.
Thank you all. Appreciate it. What was the scariest thing about trying to host a meetup? I'm gonna go Rip, you first.
The scariest thing is no one's gonna show up.
It's just us three.
It's just us three.
What's been the major takeaway now of being hosts?
I mean, I think for us, it was just a shock of how many people showed up, and we just wanted to keep it really, I think we attended a lot of your events, and we just wanted to keep it real simple.
That's what I was saying to one of the guests. I was like, we had all these ideas, but ultimately, like taking a piece of like what you do, I said, I love going to Josh's events because it's so relaxed and no pressure. And I wanted that for this event, for people to be able to network and even ask questions, right? And I think we hit the target. For real.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's been a great turnout. And I don't know, just meeting everybody. And no matter what event it is, I feel like everybody's like so open, so helpful and encouraging. And I don't know, everyone's just like super dope. I feel like everyone's really nice.
It's also a little hack. It's like an easy icebreaker being the host, right? So it's like you just get easily, everybody knows like, oh, are you part of the event? And it's very easy to explain what you're doing and opening up the conversation. You don't have to go like walk around to people because they're like, oh, this person's hosting it.
Last question. So last year I said that midterm rentals are gonna be the hottest topic on Bigger Pockets, and it clearly was. I don't know if assisted living facilities are gonna be the next hottest topic, but I think specifically in the healthcare industry, it will definitely be hyper trending, over indexing for the next couple months. Why do you think that is?
I think the cash flow numbers getting out there. I think people are starting to just hear the cash flow numbers, and that's drawing everybody. I tell Eileen and Rich all the time that we're really like the new Airbnb when people were first talking about it. Like everybody wanted one, didn't know what to do, was a little scary. And that's what our CFP is right now.
I think because everything happens like in waves, right? So more and more people are talking about it. So more and more people are hearing about it. Hence, like look at an event and so many people are coming out. So as we go on, it's just gonna catch more and more momentum. So yeah, I think that's why. It's just social media and the momentum that it has. Obviously the cash flow.
And I feel like healthcare is changing, right? So a lot of like our friends and relatives, they work as nurses and they want an exit plan. Like, okay, I don't want to do bedside for the next 20 or 30 years. This is my way to get into real estate and have the business as well.
Congratulations, you guys packed an entire bar. Kudos to you all. Good job.
Well, that's a wrap. I hope that you enjoyed this episode, and I hope you enjoyed the insights from those who are actually doing it. If you got this far, we are definitely already best friends. Comment down below, care homes for the win, and I'd love to know if you got to this certain point. If you want to connect with any of the operators that are interviewed, I will link all of their social medias down below. If you want to see more content like this, please hit the like button because it helps the algorithm. Again, my name is Josh Baldovino. I'm a marketer and a real estate investor, and I will see you all on the next one. Cheers.